Good evening. First segment of our meeting is set aside for public comment, and as of 9:30 this morning, we have not received any public comment, so we will move on with our agenda. So this meeting of the Caldwell County Board of Education for January 8, 2024 is called to order, and we are very pleased that you have taken your time to be with us here this evening, and certainly hope that all of you are prepping for the weather ahead. I'm sure Dr. Phipps will be addressing that a little bit more shortly. I'd like to call on Joe Sims to do our invocation for the board.
Thank you, Chairman Pennell. So, first off, welcome back. It's good to get started back, and we got another half a school year, and I hope everyone's excited about it. I hope the students and the staff and employees are all excited about getting through this next half a year and making it very positive. So I've thought a lot about what to talk about, because there's various topics, but we like to do a lot of words, and over Christmas it's like the gifts and that type of stuff, and New Year's is resolutions. So the word I want to talk about is nice. And the word has a lot of meanings. We use it in many ways. That was a nice meal. It's a nice day outside. It's nice to be in a warm building. And my question is, how about we think about it this way? It was nice of you to hold the door for me. It's nice of you to help me finish that job. How do you feel when you do something nice for someone, or they do something nice for you? It makes me feel good to do something nice, and I need to do that more, or if someone does something nice for me. There's three things that came to my mind about nice behavior. They are treating others with respect, honesty, and kindness. We each have the opportunity daily to show these three things. Treat each other with respect, honesty, and kindness. We cross paths with people every day that have things going on that we may not see. Not all the problems are physical problems. Some could be problems with their health or their family or maybe personal issues. So this is a lot of words that are nothing more than words unless we take some kind of action. So my challenge to each of you, each of us, because I'm included in this, to each of us is to take the action to be nice in any situation or time that you can. Now, if you would, I'd like for you to please take some time with me to give thanks for those that have been nice to you, and think of ways that you can be nice to others. So let's have a moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sims. Next on the agenda is our Pledge of Allegiance, and tonight that's being given by the second grader from Davenport A+ School, and that is Violet Young-Smith. Her parents are both teachers at Davenport A+. That is Dylan and Julia Young-Smith. So, Violet, if you'll come forward, and if you'll stand, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Violet. Great job. Next is the approval of the agenda, and the board has had opportunity over the last few days to review that. Do I hear a motion that we approve the agenda as presented?
I move that we approve the agenda as presented.
Is there a second?
I second the motion.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion passes. Next is approval of the minutes. We have two sets of minutes. The first was December the 1st, and that was our work session that we had that day. And then on December the 11th, we had our regular board meeting. Do I hear a motion that we approve the minutes, those being items 3B and 3C on your agenda? Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve the minutes from December 1st and from December 11th as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion passes. Next, we have announcements. I'd like to turn that over to our superintendent, Dr. Don Phipps.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to join others in saying welcome back. We've had everybody back after a break. We hope you've had a wonderful break and are energized and ready to get going. And with that being said, we have made the decision that schools tomorrow will be closed. So we get different reactions to that. And I know the weather circumstances are always a little bit different. With what we're facing tomorrow, what I want to let the public know, we're looking at somewhere between 3 and 4 inches of rain over a 12 to 14 hour period of time. We're also looking at wind gusts that are going to start sometime around noon or after that are going to be upwards of around 30 miles an hour and up to 60 miles an hour on the Ashe County area. We're concerned that if we start school and then we try to do early release, it takes us 2.5 hours to run a complete bus cycle. There's no guarantee if there's any kind of damage or flooding that we can safely get students home. So at the end of the day, when those decisions have to be made, we're looking at safety as our primary concern. And we can worry about the day and taking care of the day, however that needs to be done. So it's unfortunate it's happening on the second day after schools come back, but we can't control the weather and we can't control the timing of the weather. What we're going to do is react to it sensibly and try to do that in a safe manner. So we have made that announcement already, and school will be closed tomorrow. Wanted to also let the public know about a few dates that are coming up. On the 30th of January, our school board will visit schools. We do this throughout the school year, and this go around we're going to be visiting High Brighton, William Lenore, Kings Creek, and Happy Valley. Always a great time to get out and see good things that are going on in our buildings. Our next work session will be February the 6th at 7:30 till 1 p.m. here. And then our next board meeting after tonight will be our board meeting in February. That'll be on the 12th of February. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Dr. Phipps. Next, we have our honors and recognitions, a portion we always look forward to. And we know that a good many of you have come for that. We're happy to share with you and recognizing these individuals that we're getting ready to recognize. And I'd like to ask Mrs. Libby Brown, Director of Community Services, Public Information Officer, to come forward and lead us through this part. And the board will come down front and congratulate those.
Chairman Pennell, Vice Chairman Becker, board members, and Dr. Phipps. It's always a pleasure and one of our favorite parts of the board meeting to recognize our outstanding students, staff members, and our schools. And we're going to start with character education, which is one of our pride and joys in the Caldwell County Schools is to recognize the character traits of our students. This character trait is the character trait of in December of service. And what a wonderful, valued character trait to have in an individual. And we're going to start with those representatives who have been selected at the school levels. The first one being Emmett Nichols. Emmett, if you'd like to come forward, sir, he is a 5th grader at Hudson Elementary School. Your principal, Monica Martin, wasn't feeling well, so she cannot be here. She didn't feel well this afternoon. Emmett is always willing to help and does not complain. Wow, that says volumes. He is a member of the Safety Patrol and serves this position well. A perfect example of Emmett's commitment to service is demonstrated demonstrated during morning car duty, even when it's cold. We know you don't have to do it tomorrow, though, Emmett. He stays outside to do his duty no matter what the weather is. So congratulations to Mr. Emmett Nichols. At the middle school level, we have Michaelin Jackson. Michaelin is 7th grade at Gateway School, and her principal is Katie Elliott. And Chad Davis, her science teacher, is also here. Michaelin's like a walking ray of sunshine who always wants to help. She gets top grades, and she always has a helping hand for anyone stuck on homework. Explaining things with patience and a smile. Even keeping the school clean is an adventure with Michaelin. She's continuously asking the custodian if there's anything she can do. She wants to be mayor someday. Should we tell Mayor Gibbons about this? And make the whole world a better place. So let's give a big round of applause for Michaelin. And our high school representative is Hayden Hamby, Junior at South Caldwell High School. Principal Rob Bliss. I'm not sure if Hayden became okay. He wasn't able to make it, but joined the volunteering club in August and has been working nonstop. Maybe he's off volunteering somewhere, or she. So as co-president, she has planned and organized their club meetings, events, and outreach efforts to help others in the community. So that is a value trait. So congratulations, Hayden. And Mr. Bliss is here to get her certificate. So that is like, parents, please feel free. You are here. We have a whole group of supporters tonight. You can get up and take pictures if you'd like. So please feel free to do that. Our holiday card contest. We love showcasing these two beautiful pieces of artwork. Our students participated in the annual district-wide holiday card contest before the holidays, resulting in an outpouring of holiday creativity. We have our two winners here. Now, I wonder if this is the power of suggestion. I mentioned this earlier. The wind whirling and the snow and the ice. So we love it. And we may see some of that tomorrow. So our first winner is Violet Young-Smith. And Violet is a 2nd grader at Davenport A+ School. Her piece of artwork is on the right side. And she was the winner of the category for students in grades K through 8. So very impressive. And our high school category winner is Layla Isbell. Layla is a senior at High Brighton High School, and we're very proud of her and her artwork for beautiful pieces on the left side. Let's give her a round of applause. And we would like to invite their art teachers to come forward because they are the force of encouragement and support behind these students and always encouraging them to participate. Miss Janice Harris of Davenport A+ School. We have something for you, Miss Harris. And Miss Jenna Bailey with High Brighton High School. We're very proud of both of you. Our principal from Davenport A+, Miss Jessica Anthony, would you like to join the group? I know you're proud of them. And High Brighton High School Assistant Principal, I think Christy Holler. Yes, Christy, would you like to join us? So let's give these great artists a big round of applause. this particular competition is sponsored by the Education Foundation, and that's where they have the gift cards and just the support all the time from the foundation and the prizes for our teachers. So thank you. We have an outstanding student from Caldwell Early College High School, Paige Green. I think we're going to hear her name a lot, not just here at this board meeting, but Paige Green is a fifth year at Caldwell Early College High School. She is the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction Presidential Scholarship nominee. There are fewer than 10 nominated from the state of North Carolina. She's one of those who will be nominated on to the next step in this process. It's based on her academic achievements, and this recognition is among the nation's highest honors for high school students. She's also recently the winner, I have to put a plug in here, for the American Legion Post number 29 oratorical contest, and she won, last year she went all the way to nationals. And we know you're going to do that again, go all the way to nationals and be in that top ranking. So Meredith Griffin, her proud principal from Caldwell Early College High School, is here. If you'd like to join her, Ms. Griffin, and we're just very pleased and proud of her accomplishments. It's an honor to recognize you. So let's get Paige. And I hope you have enjoyed this. We had the history of Granite Falls Middle School. And this has been meeting here for a few minutes. This was created by Linda Crowder, the director of the Granite Falls History Museum. It is an honor to have you here this evening, Linda. You were awarded the Award of Excellence for her coverage of the history of Granite Falls Middle School. The North Carolina Society of Historians gave this award to Linda on November 1st, 2023, for the exceptional photos and videos made of Granite Falls Middle School during its construction. The Granite Falls Middle School groundbreaking event was held on April 29th, 2019, and the ribbon cutting ceremony on October 4th to 2022. So that was a span of time for your commitment and your efforts to capture that in video and photographs. Thank you so much. I think you wanted to say a few words, did you? Thank you, Linda. And we have a very special crowning recognition. This is just a highlight every year, and it's to recognize our teachers for National Board certification. And the National Board of Professional Teaching Standards recently notified 4 of our teachers in the Caldwell County schools that they had completed the highest certification process in the teaching profession. It's a level of commitment that, takes a special person to do it. It usually takes anywhere between district national board certified coordinator and beginning teacher mentor. So we have really special things for him. And here are the certificates. Thank you for representing Brennan County. Thank you for being here. So we're going to recognize these 4 employees. It's not always a teacher who reaches this level of high certification nationally. We'll start with congratulations to Ida Marie Brown from Dayton Elementary and Jason T. Teller. Ida, congratulations. Okay, we have Mara Schaefer Greer. Mara. I'm really proud of these teachers, just outstanding educators that we have in the Caldwell County Schools. Jennifer Moore, High Brighton High School. And Redina Smith. Redina is at the Education Center. And Dr. McKellen, do you want to join Redina? She is part of the Educational Program Services Department. These teachers now hold the Distinguished Professional National Board Teaching Certification. It is the highest teaching certification in the country. And you have now earned this certification that you can carry with you. It not only elevates you, it elevates all of us in Caldwell County Schools. And this brings our total to 303 National Board Certified teachers, employees while serving in the Caldwell County School System. Thank you to Heather Poole and her instruction and helping them and guiding them along. And we just want to say thank you for putting in the effort, the time, and the level of commitment to reach national board certification. So this is huge. Yeah, we want the stars in the middle. She wants a picture too. Congratulations. Hang the stars back. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. I knew Chris couldn't be here. Yeah, you didn't get out of that. We wanted you to get with representation from Granite Falls Middle. Thank you. And we will post all of these photographs on our website and then the Board of Education. And we'll post these on social media. So, yes, so thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. If you need to go for dinner or homework or whatever it might be, now would be an appropriate time. So thank you for coming out tonight.
They don't have school tomorrow. They don't have to worry about homework.
There you go. So proud of
Like tomorrow. Here.
Okay, we're going to continue on with our agenda. The next item on the agenda is auxiliary services assistant, superintendent.
Good evening, Chairman Pennell, Vice Chair Becker, members of the board, and Dr. Phipps. The only item I have tonight is an update on a previously approved item. The Duke Energy easement that runs there next to Lower Creek to install a voltage regulator. We approved this back in October, but since then the attorney sought some changes in the wording to limit the flexibility provided to Duke Power when it comes to that land. The final agreement is before you tonight, and I respectfully ask for approval of this agreement.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the easement agreement with Duke Energy as has been presented?
Chairman Pennell, make that.
Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Any questions, comments? Go ahead.
It runs, it's 10 feet on each side of the existing overhead power line. I don't anticipate that being an issue. And it'll be on the portion of the property farthest away from Lower Creek. Should not have any impact to that.
Any other questions, comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Poole. Appreciate it. Next, I'd like to call on Assistant Superintendent Dr. Bill Griffin for Human Resource Services.
Chairman Pennell, Vice Chair Becker, members of the board, Dr. Phipps, have several items for you this evening. Item A, human resources, usual and customary information items, require no action at this time. There for your viewing. Subject B, human resources, usual and customary action items is our contract. I'd like to bring to your attention a couple of employees that are being requested for employment for those contracts, and that's Heather Wilson as our EC Director here at the Education Center. I think she's going to do a wonderful job for us, and it's coming from Catawba County. And then another high-profile position that I just want to bring to your attention is Mr. Anthony Tony Pylan, head football coach teacher at West Caldwell High School. You have that information in your packet. So at this time, I respectfully request a motion for approval of human resources usual and customary action items contract as presented with me.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the Human Resource Services usual and customary action items as it relates to contracts?
I make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second the motion.
Any comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Okay, thank you very much. Subject C, human resources usual and customary personnel action items is our substitute list, adding a couple more substitutes to our other pool. Respectfully request a motion to approve human resources usual and customary personnel action items as presented.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the Human Resource Services usual and customary personnel items as it relates to our substitutes?
Chairman Pennell, I move we approve the substitute list as presented.
Is there a second?
Second the motion, and a big old thank you to those folks who are willing to substitute. We appreciate
Have
it.
them survive.
Anything else? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. And finally, subject D, January board transfers 2023-2024. January board transfers for 2023-2024. Total transfers requested 13. Transfers recommended board approval is 12. Transfers not recommended board approval 1. Total board approved transfers for the 23-24 school year 1,563. Transfers to both are 3, and total transfers to both. Respect the request motion to approve January board transfers 2023-2024 as approved this evening.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the January board transfers for 2023-2024?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I second the motion.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Griffin. Next, I'd like to call on our finance assistant superintendent and our chief financial officer, David Johnson.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members, and Dr. Phipps. I have two members tonight. First one is for the state public school fund. So amendment number 1, for this year. It's in the amount of $1,723,330. The second amendment I have is for the federal grants fund. It is for $14,947. If these two are approved tonight, it will bring our total budget for public grant schools to $154,335,300.
Mr. Johnson, would you, it's hard for me to hear in
Okay,
here.
I
Would you,
apologize.
the total amount, please?
Yeah, the
again?
total amount, if approved with these two amendments, would be $154,335,304.34.
Okay, do I hear a motion that we approve budget item 1, which is the state public school fund, as well as budget number 2, which is the federal grants fund, as has been presented by Mr. Johnson?
Chairman Pennell, I'll make a motion we approve budget number 1, amendment number 1, state public school fund, and budget amendment number 2, federal grants fund, has been presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Anybody have any questions or any comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Next on the agenda is our superintendent, Dr. Don Phipps.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have 3 items for your consideration tonight. 9A deals with the fall policy updates. This will be the 2023 fall updates recommended by the North Carolina School Board Association. As you all are aware, this is part of our policy customization program that we are a member of, and they give us policies on a regular update that match legislation and any other changes that need to be reflected in our policies. I would bring to your attention that we're going to request the full policy 3610, which is entitled Counseling Program. And the only reason for that is there's some things we need to clarify before we get that approval. Otherwise, we'd be coming back a second time with that. So these have been up for the required review period, and I'm respectfully requesting tonight the approval of the policies with the exception of 3610.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the fall 2023 policy revisions recommended by the North Carolina School Boards Association as presented, with the exception of number 3610?
Chairman Pennell, I move that we approve the policies as presented.
Is there a second?
Second the motion.
Is there any comments or questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion passes.
Thank you. Item 9B is a proposed 2024-25 traditional school and early college and applied sciences academy calendars. This is a request to put these calendars up for public comment. Again, these are the calendars that reflect the early start date that we were directed to create for the traditional schools. This is not approval of the calendar, but simply the approval to put these calendars as they've been created up for public comment.
Do I hear a motion to post the 2024-25 traditional school as well as Caldwell Early College High School and the Caldwell Applied Science Academy calendars for public comment for a period of time? Is there a motion to that effect?
Chairman Penn, I'll make the motion that we place the proposed traditional school, CASA, college, early college, calendars for public comment.
Is there a second?
I second the motion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Mr. Chairman, on that, I would also like just to say to the public, if you have comments, please reach out. And that can be via email, or you can communicate with me directly, and I will make sure that our board is aware of all of the feedback that we get. So this is not something we take lightly, and this is a significant change, prospects are, so we want to make sure that we get as much feedback as we can. My final item is the state board review update. This is from our state board meeting that we had last week. Again, I had the opportunity to serve as a superintendent advisor for a year and wanted to bring back locally to you all some of the highlights of what was discussed or action that was taken. And I wanted to share that there was quite a bit focused on temporary rules and new policy language for recently enacted legislation. There were several items that involved that. There was a great deal of conversation about teacher compensation and advanced teacher roles for the pilot districts that are a part of that new program, and some conversation about if that's something that we want to consider in Caldwell County, which I'm sure will be a conversation in the months to come. And then some license renewal updates that I thought the public, and particularly our teachers, may want to be aware of, and that is that those who are working on their national board certification, which you heard about tonight, they can't log those hours and then use them in a different renewal cycle. They have to be used during the renewal cycle period when they're going through the national board certification. So they can't bank those hours and then use them. That was something that was changed or spelled out. They have to be used in that renewal cycle. And also anything that's required by the state of North Carolina, DPI, or any public school unit for continued employment must allow teachers to earn CEUs for that work. So we're working on that now. There've been some things that have been training where CEUs weren't earned, and that's required now. So we feel like that would be helpful to increase the number of CEUs and then make that renewal process a little bit better. And then the final one was that the requirement for digital teaching and learning CEUs have now been removed, and those have been folded into some of the other general requirements. There was an update given to us on the ESSER funding spending, and the state's done a great job of spending those funds. And then there was a report given to about the North Carolina General Assembly weighted funding for exceptional children students report, which is ongoing. And this is something that we really have been advocating for, and it would allow us to have a funding model different in North Carolina than we have right now. Right now, we're funded at a certain amount, and you don't get more than 13%. And what we would like to see is a state fund based on the identification of students, because some classifications and student identifications certainly are more costly than others in terms of providing service. And we want to make sure that we're providing service to students and that the state's helping support us at the true cost of what those services are. So there was a report generated. They're working on that as we speak, and we'll hear a little bit more about it in February. But just wanted you all to be aware.
Thank you, Dr. Phipps.
May I ask one
Sure.
question, please? And the first thing that you mentioned about applying for the teacher compensation, is that something that a unit applies for, or have those units already been selected?
For this year, they've already been selected.
That's what I thought.
And there'll be another round that will be available next year, and we have to make a determination if it's in our best interest.
To do that?
And I'm not suggesting it is or it isn't. We haven't had that conversation.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that's where, what I was wanting to understand, is anything we can do for teachers contribute.
And I believe there were either 7 or 9 additional districts that were brought in. And there's a planning grant that's available, and then there's significant dollars from the General Assembly to do that work. So we'll have some conversation about that, and also certainly talk with our teacher stakeholders
Absolutely.
if it's a direction we want to move in.
And that would occur like during the summer, or Is there a time frame for
It was
that?
approved, if I remember correctly, by the state board in October maybe, or December, I can't remember. So the application period would have been somewhere around the beginning of school.
Thank
And we'll keep you up to date on that.
Thank you, sir.
And Dr. Phipps, on item B, will you just hit the highlights of the calendar changes like,
Yeah, and I said it's prospectively significant, and it is, because it would change the start date to, and I don't have it in front of me, the 15th, I think, or the 14th of August. It would start earlier than what the state mandate is right now. It would allow us, it would guarantee finishing up before the Christmas break. Most importantly, in my opinion, and I think everybody has some different perspectives, is that it allows us to balance the semesters, the spring and the fall semester. It also allows us to have a better use of our time, where we're able to put planning dates in that make more sense. We have 2 dates that we've got put in the calendar for this prospective calendar that you would see, the proposed calendar. That would be the old parent-teacher conference dates. We wouldn't have students in school. We'd be encouraging parents to come in and meet with teachers to go through that. Just optional planning days that are there. And the last day of school would be May the 21st. So I've had some folks that have said we've shortened the summer. You're really only shortening the summer in the first year, because every year after that, summer vacation starts earlier in May. You just start back earlier in August, but the amount of time that you're out for summer after that first year remains the same. So that's what the proposal is.
And
Thank
Dr. Phipps, am I correct that this is one of the, when we looked at this calendar, that it aligns our traditional schools and, the early college and CASA more closely than we have in the prior?
And just in general with the community college, so students that are taking the dual credit program through the Career and College Promise, it would benefit them as well. So I think we're within a day of what they have, so we are very much aligned.
That's something we've discussed at length, and so this is the closest we've come.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Dr. Phipps. Next on the agenda, the board has had an opportunity to look at the Board Appeals Committee schedule, and that is for the coming year. And having reviewed that, I hear a motion that we approve the 2024 Board Appeals Committee schedule as you have in front of you.
I move that we approve the schedule as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion passes. Next is closed session. The board needs to go into a closed session period. Do I hear a motion that the board convene to closed session?
Chairman, can I move that we convene to closed session pursuant to the reasons on our current agenda?
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And motion passes. Thank you for being here. Don't expect any action once we come out. And, again,
Everybody.
prepare for tomorrow. righty, good to see everyone, and, stay dry. Do I hear a motion, we adjourn?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.